Hey guys, what's up? Diana here from Memories That Stick. Welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be planning the week of January 17th through the 23rd. I'm using this beautiful kit from the Pretty Pink Co. called Hello Winter. I show this kit in my January lineup, but just in case you missed it, here is the kit. Also, this week I'm super excited because my girl Chanel from Coco Luxe Designs gave me some pointers on making these gorgeous florals for myself. We talked about how much easier it is to print florals for ourselves, so I gave it a shot this week and I think they turned out so good. I couldn't find the florals used in the kit exactly, but I don't know, I think they look pretty dang close, so I'm really excited to use those. Thank you, Chanel, for helping me out with that. I also have some extras here. I've got the Twinkle Cluster Deco from Sadie Stickers, the Dainty Scallop Mini Circles, also from Sadie Stickers, the tree dividers from Letters to Apollo, and the autumn branches from Hnoey Inked. I'm going to be using these up in the date covers and monthly section. So if you guys want to see me plan with this gorgeous kit, please keep watching. Alright, so voiceover Diana is now here. I love how Jenna from Bare Necessity Plans always says it, that it's voiceover Jenna now. Anyway, I had so much fun this week with these florals. As I mentioned, I made these florals myself, so that was really exciting. For some reason, I never remember to put the header down before the date cover, and that messes up my alignment, so I really need to start remembering that. But as for all of the items with the date covers, we have the date covers from the kit. The squares, date squares that I'm putting down now are from Sadie Stickers. The line is from Paper Trail Plans. I think I mentioned this already, but those little extra floral flourishes are from Hnoey Inked, those right there that I'm putting down now. And then those little sparkle pieces of deco are from Sadie Stickers. And of course, the floral deco and the date cover deco in general is inspired by my girl, Rachel from Gathered Plans. I've been watching a lot of her YouTube videos lately, and this is just how she does it. She does the floral typically with some sort of divider between the floral and the date cover, and then always a little extra snowflake or sparkle going on there. So obviously, this is her style, and I just wanted to give it a try this week, so I'm glad I did, and thank you, Rachel, for always inspiring us. For the monthly section, I was trying to pull in that tree divider from Letters to Apollo, but for some reason, I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't make it work, but I end up pulling it in elsewhere, which you'll see in a few minutes. So while the rest of the base goes down, I'm just going to put some music on so you don't have to listen to me ramble about nothing. So enjoy. All right, so now for the day by day. I just want to preface this by saying that every time I put a floral down, I cut it to, like, I trimmed it to match the size of the box, but I've edited that part out because it was so painful to watch, because every time I used my X-Acto knife, I had to do it, like, I had to run it over the paper like 3 times, and it was the most annoying thing to watch ever, so I've cut all of that out, so you'll see in the one clip, the flower is whole, and then in the next clip, the flower is cut. So just be prepared. I just cut all that out for your viewing pleasure. So on Monday, I got up very early and I used a floral and a doodle from White Deer Stationery to mark that. And then I was obviously having a lot of trouble writing up early, or I just didn't like the way I was writing it. So it took me a few tries, but I finally got it. Then I used a fancy box from the kit and an icon from Crafts by Thaowie to mark that I filmed a plan with me. This was Martin Luther King Day, so I had off all day. That script is from Paper Muse Crafts on the full box there. Then I used the third box. I think I ended up changing this one out. Nope. I used the third box to mark that I went to the gym and lifted chest and shoulders. I used a doodle from Rose and Tea Shop to mark that. And then I add a little sparkle from Sadie stickers because it was a miracle I got to the gym at all. So then I went on a grocery run. Again, just a reminder, I cut out all the clips of me cutting the florals. I used this cute little grocery basket to mark that, and it was the last one on the sheet, so I made sure I showed you the whole sheet. Very satisfying. Then I also used a little sparkle from Sadie stickers to zhuzh it up, and then I used an icon from My Spoiled Planner and a little hexagon from the kit to mark that I filmed another base. And then I used a quarter box at the top of Monday to mark that I was on the phone with my friend Matt. And that phone icon, which you'll see in just a minute, is from Planning World. Just a friendly reminder that Gus is sleeping next to me, so any snores, snorts, any other unladylike sounds are coming from him and not me, I promise. Voice Over Me is just going to continue on, and Plan With Me will catch up eventually. So on Tuesday, I woke up early once again, and I couldn't find, I have these Starbucks cups from Piper Paper Co. that I love. It's just that they're so dang tiny. So I was trying to find a floral that would kind of go behind it, but they're just so small that I couldn't do it. So I ended up using a coffee cup from the kit and then a little circle from the kit to mark the up early for this day. Then I used a third box to mark that I had a meeting, and I used an icon from Crafts by Thaowie for that. Then I did the January audits. I think I've mentioned before I'm an internal auditor, so I just used a paperclip from White Deer Stationery to mark that. Then on the top half of Tuesday, I finished Shadow and Bone. That was a really good book for anyone who's interested in YA fantasy. This one I was able to get through really quickly. I read it, I think, in 4 days, and it was a really, like I said, a really good book. So if you're interested, I suggest Shadow and Bone. I think it's a trilogy, so there are 3 books in the series. But a nice, easy read if you're interested. Then after that, oh, by the way, I used an icon from Planning Like a Pro to mark finishing the book, and then I used a little sparkle from Sadie stickers. Next, I used a floral that I made myself and an icon from Planning World to mark that I went to the gym again and did leg day. Then I used a quarter box from the kit to mark that I called my Nana, along with an icon from Crafts by Thaowie. And then this was the day that the government website, opened for ordering home tests. And here's a funny story. I thought I was like the first in my family to get on the website. So I ordered my self-tests because I live alone, and then I don't live with my family rather, and then I went to go place the order for my family, so I put in like their address, everything, and it had said, tests already ordered, and I was like, they ordered theirs and they didn't order mine, and then I called my boyfriend and I was like, hey, I'm going to order the test for your family, the website's open. He's like, oh, my sister already got them for us. I was like, what the heck? So everyone got their tests and nobody bothered to tell me that the website was open. I found out from Planner Instagram. Somebody put it on their stories. So I was just so annoyed with my whole family for nobody telling me about the at-home test website being open. So thank you to whoever put it on their Plannergram stories. I appreciate it. For whatever reason, I was having a lot of trouble getting that box straight, but I think I finally did it. I don't know if anyone else deals with this, but if you haven't filmed in a week or haven't planned in a week, does it take you until Wednesday to get back into the groove of things? Because I definitely find if I, don't plan in between my plan with me's or I don't do any stickering, I have a hard time getting back into it. I mean, eventually it starts flowing smoothly, but Monday and Tuesday are usually like, what? I don't know what to do. Anyway, so for Wednesday, I had a webinar that I had to watch. So I used a fancy box from the kit and a floral that I made myself to mark that. Up next, I bleached the bathroom, which apparently was a very big deal. So I used a flag from the kit that I think I cut down. Maybe not. A flag from the kit and then another icon from Planning World to mark that. Then I put in another floral to mark that Sean was over, and we made barbecue flatbreads that night that were so good from my HelloFresh box, and I just used a quarter box and an icon from Crafts by Thaowie to mark that. Then I used this half box here, a floral, and an icon from Paper Muse Crafts to mark that we hung my planner shelves this night in like my planner section, so that was all taken care of. And really funny story, I just eyeball things, and I think most women do when you're hanging stuff on the wall. I'm like, yeah, this looks good. So Sean was like, okay, well, just measure, how far apart they are, so when we go and hang them, they're how you want them. I was like, okay. So I did a quick measure. I'm like, okay, perfect, 10 inches. That's great. So he's like, that wasn't 10 inches, and he takes the tape measure from me and he measures it. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, why? What is it? He's like, it's 9 7/8. I was like, did you hear what you just said? But it was funny. It was definitely like a man-woman moment. So on the top of Thursday, I used a flag from the kit and an icon from Crafts by Thaowie, an airplane icon rather, to mark that I took my mom and my dad to the airport. Then I used a little snowflake that I made. I ended up changing this section, but it was like snow drizzling outside, so I marked that. And then I did another floral and a doodle from White Deer Stationery to mark that I continued on with my audits. This afternoon, I went to the dentist, and I will never do that again. I haven't been in the dentist in like 10 years, so it was the most painful experience I've ever had, and I was a huge baby about it, and I just won't go back. I won't do it. I have no cavities, so it doesn't really seem like I need the dentist, if you're asking me. So I just used a half box and a floral to mark that, and then after the dentist, to make myself feel better, I went to Hobby Lobby's and Michael's and Home Goods, because how else do you make yourself feel better than to go houseware shopping? And then at night, I used a quarter box and an icon from Rose and Tea Shop to mark that I did ice cream delivery because my mouth was in a lot of pain. On Friday, I marked doing my audits the same way I did for the week before, or for the rest of the week, the way I've been marking it the whole time. I used florals and then a doodle from White Deer Stationery to mark that I was continuing on with my audits. This section here, I go back and change. So I'm not even going to write what I did, but I did do a bunch of errands. That little circle is from the kit, and then that bag is from the Graceful Planner. Then I just used a quarter box to mark that Aunt Flo came, along with a doodle from White Deer Stationery. And then this is when I go back and change up that area. I basically just white out the fact that I went to Home Goods and Joann's, and then just marked that I went to Target, because let's be honest, that's where I spent most of my money. So, Target run. Going back to Friday evening, I used a floral and then a doodle from White Deer Stationery to mark that I read. I also used a script from Kinzi's Creations for that area, and I think that looks really pretty. I end up doing that again for something else on Sunday. Then I used a half box to mark that I watched the Bob Ross documentary, which is so sad. I love Bob Ross. I love him so much, but his family doesn't have rights to his namesake. Like, that's the bottom line of the whole documentary, so spoiler alert. So it's just really sad. But moving on to Saturday, I used a little shelf, a bathroom shelf from Piper Paper Co. to mark that I did a scalp treatment on my hair, and then I washed my hair. My scalp becomes so dry in the winter, so dry. As well as the rest of my body. I don't know why, but in the winter I just cannot handle the cold and my skin just dries right up. So I used in floral and then a icon from By Thaowie to mark that. And then I used a circle from the kit to mark that I spent some time making some florals. Then I used another floral and a white deer stationery camera to mark that I filmed another base. And then I used a half box because me, Nikki, Dave, and my boyfriend went to a brewery by us and we just got dinner and hung out. And then this was a fight night, so me and my boyfriend and our friends are really big into watching MMA, so we typically order the fights on pay-per-view. So this night they came back after dinner and we all watched the fights together. From what I remember, they were good fights, but I can't remember exactly because this was a while ago now. Then on a Sunday morning, I took my grandma to Kincullen because her car wasn't working and my parents were out of town, so I did that. And I actually picked up a few things for myself, so it was a all in all great run. So what I just did there, I think you missed it, but I did florals, or I missed it rather in the voiceover part, but I used florals, a little eye mask from Crafts by Thaowie, and then another script by Kinzi Creation to mark that I had a lazy day. Then this was the night of football. The games were so good. The Rams versus the Bucks. The Rams won, and then Buffalo versus Kansas City, and Kansas City Chiefs won. I was really disappointed because I did go to school in Buffalo. I also used a flag and then an icon from White Deer Stationery to mark that I worked on my temperature blanket. And that is the Viv Wiggle for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye!